Okay, this is going to be my audience for my persuasive speech. And give it to the cameraman over here. Okay, when you go to renew your license or even go to get a license, do you remember the part when they ask you, would you like to be an organ donor? After you do answer this question, do you realize the lives you could save by just saying yes? This is a topic that many of us don't think about until the situation actually occurs in our life. Growing up, I had a friend named Travis Clyburn who had cystic fibrosis. It is a disease in your lungs with the buildup of plaque. Around his 21st birthday, it's when it became its worst, until he lost his life to it. He was only 21 years old when he died because his lungs continued to collapse from the disease. He couldn't even find a donor. If someone who's 21 can't find a donor, how can you expect anyone to find a donor? If a young male can't have a chance to live his own life, then this is an issue that needs to be discussed. So today, I would like to go over with you the harm and the lack of donation, how to solve the issue, and how the process can occur. Every year, there are thousands of people who would die from the lack of donation. Your knowledge on the issue can help to stop society from burying healthy organs every day. According to the Hastings Center, nearly 100,000 people are on the waiting list for organ transplants just in the United States. Every day, there are about a dozen people who die just waiting on the list for the organ transplant, which makes it difficult for their families realizing that their lives could have been saved from just getting a donation. It is getting more difficult for them to distribute the organs fairly for the lack of supply. This list continues to grow every day, only making it harder for administrators to make the decisions. And over here on my poster board, I have just an example of a waiting list, and it just says kidney transplants, 15,500 patients, heart transplants, 10 patients, liver transplants, 300, lung transplants, 11 patients, and heart-lung transplant, 2 patients. That's just an example of how many people need the transplants. According to the National Kidney Foundation, the survival rate of kidney and liver patients is above 90%. Also, in 2008, this was the first time there was a decline in the number of deceased donors used for the transplants. Although there are many doubts about organ donation, society also needs to think about how this could benefit another's life. After a loved one dies, you may respect their wishes in choosing the organ donation. It has its benefits, and although you may not realize at the time, you will feel grateful that you can't feel ungrateful that you stopped them from saving another person's life. Some of the benefits can include giving someone another chance at their life. In other words, they may have lost. Or it can also be something that you will be remembered for the rest of your life. Or also just like in someone's precious life, just saving someone else's life is just such a great thing for someone to do. In order to increase the supply of organs, we as a society need to become more educated on the issue. Put aside your religious beliefs or find some way around them and stop affecting the way that we do things. You can't base your religion and not let someone donate organs just because of their religion. Until science can become more advanced in the stem cell research, the need for organs will continue to be at such a high demand. Before you totally disregard the issue, you need to realize all factors that hospitals take into consideration before the participant can even have a chance at the organ donation. If you don't have insurance, you will most likely not be accepted. Also, if you're over the age of 75, you're not even considered. Illegal immigrants are not considered. And now that you think about it, when you're deceased, your soul is not even inside. Your organs, it's not even inside of your organs. So why not give them to someone else so they can continue with their life and fulfill their dreams? If there's not an increase in organ donation, then the list will just keep growing until eventually many people on the list will die before they even get a chance at having a donor. We can change the amount of organs being donated by just learning about the issue. If religious groups could understand that after a loved one is deceased, they could save someone of their same religion by letting the deceased follow through with their wishes by just donating. In conclusion, we need to increase the amount of donors to stop the amount of patients dying on the waiting list. Also, we need to become more educated on the issue. And lastly, all the religions need to be accepting of the idea. By accepting the idea of organ transplants to increase the numbers and save thousands of more lives every year. I'm sure many of us out there have a friend just like Travis, who's struggling with his life every day until he can't fight anymore. So why not make a difference and stop this battle for someone?